Well, the Sacramento Kings nemesis from last year has won the first half 55-53. I mean, obviously a close game. If you like good shooting, you're not liking this game. That was a poorly played first half.
Incredibly sloppy 24 minutes for both teams.
Yeah, I mean, Sabonis was tremendous. And Trey Murphy, I mean, if he played against the Kings 82 times a year, he might be first team all NBA. I mean, the guy just always seems to play well against Sacramento. But you know what? Both teams, here's the problem. Jerry, good to have you with us. This is the same issue that I see when the Kings don't win games and don't play well. They can't put the ball in the basket from beyond the arc. This is another really poor shooting display by Sacramento in the first half, but they're only down 2.
Yeah, they're very fortunate to be there. You're right. I mean, obviously missing a lot of really open shots. A few little sloppy turnovers, but overall that's not the problem. But I think the biggest problem is just really soft defense. I mean, Trey Murphy's a terrific player, but he's not this good. and they have made, and certainly they have made some tough shots. McCollum and Murphy both have made shots just kind of out of their butts. But overall, I thought the defense was very soft. I mean, this is a team that if you get up and pressure the ball, they'll turn it over for you if you give them a reason to. But so far, it's been like one of those games. Hey, you guys get a good shot, they will get a good shot, and so whoever steps it up defensively will win this game.
Jerry, I don't know that I've seen worse on-ball defense for a half this season for the Kings.
We probably have, but it's hard. It'd be hard to pin it down. Just the straight line drives, clean open looks. Yeah, it's been a very poor defensive effort by the Kings, and that will.
So how does that happen after 3 days of practice?
Yeah, you'd think you'd really come out with a lot of energy and effort coming off a couple of wins. We'll see what we need. If they don't come out and really get after the second half, you got to really be concerned. I'd be surprised if they don't. This team, the Pelicans really don't want to beat you. You have to give them reason to win.
Well, you've given them a reason right now. They've led through 2 quarters, and they have a couple of their players back. They're still missing several players, notably Ingram and Williamson. But this team also, even though it's somewhat of a different look with DeJounte Murray, there are a lot of guys on the Pelicans that feel like they have the Kings number. And I would think that would give them some confidence.
Oh, I don't think there's any doubt about it. I mean, there's enough guys that even the guys that aren't playing are there on the bench. So it's a reminder for them. And so they're coming in, obviously creating their own energy. There's no energy in that building, as you know, ever.
Ryan, once again, the bench was non-existent in the first half.
Yeah, you get a triple from Kevin Huerter, and that's about it. That's because, Grant, everybody coming off your bench, with the exception of Kevin Huerter and Keon Ellis, they're going to be on the front line. And the Kings just shot threes there in that second quarter. Not a lot of motion, using your big men getting towards the hoop into the paint, Jerry.
Yeah, and I mean, and you really can't count on Sabonis having that kind of second half.
No.
I mean, he was the only reason they're in this game. And so the bench has got to be better. The starters have got to be better. You just got to simply get into the paint more. Just everything you think they need to do, they need to do.
The guy that concerns me the most in the second half is C.J. McCollum. He always seems to kill the Kings.
He's a terrific player, one of the most underrated players in the last 15 years. A guy, should have made All-Star team 2 or 3 times probably. And
he got lost in the shuffle playing alongside Lillard. I think that hurt. I mean, don't you agree that's one of the reasons why he's underrated?
Oh, absolutely. And, a lot of people didn't realize how good he was at handling the ball, and really coming to New Orleans really established that he could run a team. And certainly he's on the, a little bit the downslide of his career, but he's still a near all-star level player when he's healthy.
What do you think for a final score, Rhino?
Oh, man, Grant, I've got a bad feeling about this one, but I just got to believe the Kings pull this out and they get a run like we've seen in the quarters where they go towards the hoop. I'm going to say Kings 111, New Orleans 106.
Yeah, I've got it 112, 105 Kings. I think they're going to get on a nice run, and they're going to actually take a little bit of pride just a tiny, tiny little bit of pride on defense and get this thing turned around.
I got New Orleans winning 110-109 with McCollum hitting a game-winning shot.
Oh,
To the details.
man, that
I've seen it too often.
Napes
I've just seen it too many times
Napes
from him.
can see stuff, Rhino.
I guess so, Jerry.
I've seen it too many times with that guy. And Jerry made a really good point a couple of moments ago. Don't give the Pelicans a feeling that they can win this game with 5 minutes or so left in the fourth quarter, because they have very few wins. And I don't care who you are. You don't like to lose every night. Jerry knows that as well as anybody here. And I say that in all due respect, in a way. We're joking. But, Jerry, you were in many situations where your team was not good enough, that you didn't have good enough players to compete. But on nights when you were in the game, with 5 minutes left, your team played their ass off,
Oh, yeah. That's the thing. And as we talked about, you let a team hang around. I mean, I can remember beating the Showtime Lakers and
That's right.
they let us hang around. And pretty soon our guys thought, well, we're in this game, we can win it. And they did, and that's what happens. And no, you've got us, we saw that with the great Kings teams with Weber and those guys, how occasionally they'd mess around, let somebody, the Vancouvers or somebody hang around and lost games like that. And so that's why this third quarter is so important. They've got to establish it's going to be Kings ball early on.
That Lakers win was a big improvement from the game that cost Phil his job after you scored only 4 points in the first quarter. So I thought personally after that game, you should have been nominated for Coach of the Year.
Yeah, I would have thought so too, but there were other games on the schedule, however.
Oh my God. Four free throws, Ryan. That's the Kings only scored 4 points in the first quarter down in LA on free throws, and bless his heart, Phil Johnson, that cost him his job.
Yeah, good coach. But it worked out for him. He got to spend about 15 years with Jerry Sloan on those great on those great Utah teams. So
yeah.
There you go.
So, all right, let's talk about the keys. I mean, first and foremost, you got to make a couple of shots here, but you think defense is the key, huh, Jerry? You think that's where this thing's got to tighten up?
Well, yeah, I do. Now, you're exactly right. They got to make shots. That's always the you've got to make open shots and put some pressure on their defense. But more importantly, you just can't let them have the freedom they've got handling the ball. I mean, really some ball pressure. I really think they should pick up and press every chance they get.
No reason not to. The way that Mike Brown's playing his rotation, Jerry, he's even throwing Colby Jones in there.
Yep.
Yeah, you got, that's what some of those guys are in there for. Really is obviously is a little bring fresh legs and bodies into the game, and so get after it. Force some turnovers, get the game up and down. The faster the pace, the better it should be for the Kings. So find a way to speed the pace up.
I got a question for both of you. I did a rant on this morning. I flipped on the game last night in Houston for about a minute, and after watching one transition up and down from each team, I turned it off because of the court. I'm so tired of this crap. It's just so awful. It's so what the hell is the league doing here?
I don't know. I think they're trying to appeal to people who aren't basketball fans.
Come on.
And instead of really trying to appeal to the people who love the game, but I mean, it's almost kind of a clown show,
It's a circus.
You might reach a couple of game players with this kind of court and all this silly stuff, but you're chasing off thousands of people who love the game and would just wants the game. The game, you don't need multicolored courts and anyway, I'm old school. A lot of people they're not interested in keeping us as fans. That's the problem.
Yeah.
They need to be.
Well, that's why their ratings are down. Rhino, what do you think of this?
I just think Adam Silver, and I get you want to grow the game globally, but you look at the tournament style, you look at the courts, very European. I think that they're really trying to target the global audience, bring people in that are used to more elimination styles when it comes to their tournaments, their sports, whatever it may be.
Yeah, it's a copy on the soccer in Europe, where they have in-season tournaments and things, and it seems to work there. But that's, I don't know. I mean, clearly the interest is down already in year 2, which should tell you
Yes.
something.
Yeah, and then Adam Silver blames it on the election. He blames it on football. Stop it. You know what? Fix your problem. Fix your product. Make your product better. I think the biggest problem with the NBA right now, I think three-point shooting has, I don't want to use the word ruined. I think the three-point shooting in the NBA has really tarnished the NBA game. It's just changed it. It's changed it too drastically, in my opinion.
Well, I agree totally. We've talked about this. I think that and the sameness of the game. Every team plays. There's no personality to the teams. I mean, no. But when Jordan's Bulls played, you had a feel of how they played the triple post, or the great Celtic teams, or the Showtime Lakers, or even the Kobe Shaq Lakers, and Bad Boy Pistons. They all had personality and they played differently. Malone and Stockton, the Utah Jazz. But when you tune in the NBA now, it's all, the players are different, but they all play the same.
Even the Kings with Rick Adelman in the early 2000s, their style was a standout style.
Unique. Unique.
You don't see that anymore, really.
I mean, and so you've lost a lot of, what team basketball is supposed to be. You kind of find your personality and something unique about your particular team. And I think that's been lost. And I think it's, other than people following their own team, I don't think they're following the league like they used to. And that's a big loss.
I think you guys said the key word, team. You don't have teams sticking together like they used to. A lot more player movement. You don't get used to being able to learn those personalities in a team's idea of what they are.
Yeah, it's all that pro sports here in this era. There's no question. Hey, Ryan will join me on the post-game show. We'll take your phone calls. We'll see what happens here in the second half. Jerry, appreciate you, and you enjoy your long weekend because the Kings don't play again until next week.
Till next Monday, but we're going to get a win here. Going to have to slug it out here and get after it, but just get the win. Ugly win's a pretty win, really.
And Jerry, take a day off tomorrow. We're giving you an off day.
Okay, I can't take the full day off. Just half day.
Well, that's up to you.
All right. See you guys.
All right. Everyone else, we'll see you back here in 1 hour.